as Dash of Dave. He'll take some scraps and bits of this, turn them into something you can't miss. Junk journals, tapes, and crafts galore. He'll have you begging, show me more. Oh, Dash of Dave, oh, what a sight. Mixing colors, day and night.
Hi everyone, it's Dash of Dave and I'm back for another crafty video. So again, it's another Finish It Friday today. So I've got my things that need to be finished. And I'm going to go through and pick one out depending on how inspired I feel. So I think this might be a bigger project where I might just need to off camera kind of sit and make a folio to go in here. A signature to go in here. So not that today. That's another big project. Possibly. So these are two same. So I've got a thing and a waterfall thing there. That might be maybe this. So this is a Hungarian map fold. That's a bigger project because that's going to take a lot of things to go in it. Again, with these are both bigger projects. What about these? What are these? Oh yeah, that's quite interesting. Maybe that. Oh, there's another one here that doesn't have anything. Maybe that. I don't know. I think maybe that. Or this. I think today is going to be. So that needs its signature sewing in. It needs to be sewn in there. And then we need to make some florally things to kind of go in there, or we do a juxtaposition. Let's do that. Let's make one of the utilitarian ones, but make it a bit more different. So remember, it's only things I have to hand. So I do know that I'm making this video, so I do kind of bring things closer. So if I can reach it, I can use it. So let's make something for this. So this is just one of those little quick journals that I made where it's like a pinch file. So it pinches the spine in and it uses a hole punch and a tie to hold it in, and then you can refill it to your heart's desire. I can't remember when I made these. What do I do? That's the thing. So I think we'll start at the... Do we start at the front or do we go inside? No, we'll start at the front. We'll go on the inside. Go on the inside later. So I'm thinking I quite like to put something floral on the outside. So some of these big flowers. I wanted it to kind of be a bit... I know it's utilitarian, but we can go a bit floral as well. So do I use some of this green paper? Might do. Tear a bit off. I could have a flower on here. Which one do I want? I really like that one because I think that kind of lends itself to that kind of utilitarian look. That green is beautiful. So maybe that. Maybe stick that to there and tear around it, like kind of fussy tearing it. But I think I'd like something over the top of it. Maybe some of the tea dye paper that I've... Oh no, that completely obliterates it. There's no point putting that on it. Do I have any vellum? Or I could just do some... just do some... What's the word? Some matte medium over it, I guess. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it down and tear it and then maybe decide what I'm going to do with it afterwards. So I would like that to be on the text. Do I want that particular text? Or do I want some book pages? So here's some that I've... No, you don't see it on there. That's okay. Maybe that. You see it on there, but I don't like that. It's not enough text. I don't like it. Personally, I don't anyway. That's quite nice. Maybe that one. No, too close in colour. Yeah, no, it blends in too much. No. 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 So, I think I'm going to use that piece actually. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put those pieces back together. And then, I don't want that, do I? No, that's too close in colour. I like the fact that this is got some of the colour in, but also it's got some that isn't in there. So, right, okay, let's peel this off. Stop saying so. We need to find another word that's better than so. I laugh every time, well, me and Vic laugh about the fact that every time I'm editing it, and I have to listen to myself say so many times, and I just get annoyed with myself, like, stop saying so! Because every time I finish something and I'm cutting it, and I say to myself, I say on the video, right then, so... I don't know whether it drives any of you insane, but it certainly drives me insane. So I'm catching myself saying it all the time now. So I need to find another word that does the job of so without being so annoying. You probably don't. I don't know. You might do. You might sit and count how many times Dave says so. We used to do that with people that people that I used to work with, like our bosses. When every time they held a meeting, we'd sit there and like do a tally chart of. We'd do a bet of how many times somebody would say, like, at the end of the day, or all of that business speak stuff, or right then. And then somebody would tally it up during the meeting, and then like we didn't win anything. It wasn't like winning a car or anything. The only thing I think the things like were you didn't have to make a hot drink that day, or whatever it was if you won it, or you'd just do it for fun. I can't really remember. Okay, so yeah, so it is a little bit shiny. Not happy with the shiny. I think I'm gonna matte medium it first, and let it dry, and then tear around it. So let's matte medium it. Collage. That's crazing. I don't want crazing. Just because I don't want crazing. I'd say you have to throw yourself off the shelf. Matte medium. That's what we want. So let's get. Stop saying so. I'm aware that it's probably just me that hears it all the time, and now I've highlighted it to you, it'll drive you mad. So I do need to say something else. Okay, I'm just trying to find a nice paintbrush that I can apply this with. I need to hold it so I can actually see whether. It doesn't matter if I put this on the book page as well. I just want to take the shininess off the plastic. It's funny how we have things in our craft room that we start making, and then I don't know whether we lose interest in doing it, or we find something else and start that and never finish. But I do have a lot of unfinished projects. I do have a lot because I make videos for you guys, and I'll start doing something, or I'll demonstrate how to do something a few times and then don't actually finish one of them. I'll finish one on camera and then the rest don't get finished. But I also have things that have started off camera and never got around to finishing, so not sure why that happens. Right, I'm just going to try and take the brush marks out of it, so just by doing a bit of random crissy-crossy thing. to go food shopping. So I'm on a day's annual leave today, and I haven't been out today, but I do need to go out and get food because I don't have anything. I mean, yesterday I had a sandwich because there was nothing really in the house. And a man cannot live on sandwiches alone. So, right, I'm going to leave that to one side while I get on and do some other stuff in here. So one of the other things I definitely want to do is I want to ink it. So I will get this. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to go? What colour do I want to go? Do I want to go darker with a walnut stain? Let's go with a gathered twig because that's kind of a bit less intense. I think this is this will definitely help this, lift this, because this is supposed to look utilitarian and it looks brand new, so it needs to look older for it to kind of take on that utilitarian look. Well, for me it does. It needs to look thumbed and used and that sort of thing, because that's what does it for me. And I really do love a utilitarian look. But I also like that juxtaposition of something that's like utilitarian and practical, but also been beautified. Because you definitely wouldn't have had a flower on a utilitarian thing, but you know, who's to say that it wasn't somebody's old office supply and then they've since beautified it. Or, you know, how, like, I don't know whether this was just something that we did, but when we had our school exercise books and you'd cover them in your favourite wallpaper or some offcuts of wallpaper that your parents had been using or had got a sample of, or just to make it look a little bit less utilitarian at the time. You know, you didn't like the utilitarian nature of it as a child. You wanted it to look decorative, but actually retrospectively I really like the utilitarian look. I like that old exercise book look with the, you know, the split spine that's gone all floofy and like we spend ages trying to recreate that look when at the time we spent ages trying to cover it up, but you know, hindsight, great thing. I mean, like, these are the things that make me laugh. I think maybe I need to get out more. Maybe that's the I should definitely go and get some food. Definitely get out enough to go and get some food from the shop. That would be good. Although I was sat here thinking, I don't know whether I can be bothered to like go shopping, cook it, eat it. Blah, blah, blah. I love food. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm one of these people that sees food as fuel. I mean, it is fuel, but I don't see it as, you know, it doesn't matter what you eat as long as it's fuel and it's fueling your body and you need it. I love food. What I don't love is having to make it, especially because, like, I don't mind when there's two of us here, but when you're on your own, it's such a pain in the bum. You do as much making for yourself as you would do if it was two of you. So, and actually, it's more wasteful when there's only one of you, because I can't make enough for just one. I have to make enough for two, even though there's only one. Although when Vic makes it, he makes enough for about 25. So I'm just gonna have a drink. Just bear with me. See how dry this is. Still nowhere near dry. Okay, so it's is it that way around? Yeah, it's that way around. So I'm going to do a bit of inking on the inside as well. Just not as much. Just give it a bit of a zhuzh. What was I using? Gathered twig. Scattered pictures. No, it's not scattered pictures. Gathered twig just makes me think of that song. Off the corner, in the corners of my mind, misty watercoloured, scattered twigs of the way we were. Also, this has got a bit of sellotape, the faux sellotape that I do down it, so I might put some of that on the outside. I've definitely got that over there to hand. I might have to slightly stretch to reach it, but I think I've got some. Let's put a little something underneath there, that edge, just while I do this. Like I say, doing this on a Friday is really good because it makes you, it's very cathartic, makes you think, right, I've done that, sense of accomplishment. And that's why, although I film ahead, I am filming this on a Friday. I am filming it on Friday the 23rd, and I think this is scheduled to go out on next Friday, I believe. That is Friday the 30th, it is. So, although it's not the same Friday that you're watching it, it's definitely a cathartic Friday. So, again, we'll do this and put that under there just to stop the ink from going to the page underneath. It definitely lifts it, I feel, now that it's kind of inked a little bit. It makes me feel a bit more like I'm connected to it, and it's not just another make. It brings it to life, I feel, just giving it some colour and, you know, that faux aging thing. So I'm not going to do anything with the actual thing itself. I will make some stuff to go. Maybe I might make some tags to go in it. And oh, I've got a bit of my little thing is falling apart. I've got some new ones, but you know, I like the old one. I don't like change. Well, I do. If I give you a tenner and you don't give me any change, I like that change, but I don't like, you know, changing things, or circumstances that change. So we're going to have this on here, aren't we? Yeah, that's definitely going on there. So inside, we could do with a couple of tags, I think. So maybe I've got these. This is a bit of offcut that was just to the side of me. Maybe I do this and maybe some of rub-ons. Could I have? I think they're a bit twee for this project, certainly. So this is two separate pockets, isn't it? So I could have things like that. Obviously these aren't finished, I realise, but I can cut them down. Do I leave them with a torn edge? Right, let me just cut that edge off. Like that. And then, what do we want to do? 3.5? Where's the 3 there? 2.5. No, let's go 3. I'm going to finish these. I'm not just going to do them, leave them like this. I want that and that in there, maybe. And then this one can be 3.5 wide. Now let's do it with the the tree element, not tree element, the floral, not floral. What is it? When it's not a tree, it's not a flower, it's foliage. And then we've got that, which we can have maybe in there as well. So maybe those, I'll try and get them decorated in this video. And then we'll have a bigger thing in this pocket. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's something I've created that I like the look of. Oh my gosh, those colours. Oh, look, perfect. Yes, so we'll make that into something. We'll make it into a tag. We'll do a slot punch tag, I think, for that. So put a slot in the top of that. I don't know whether I've got anything to go in it. Oh, actually, there might be something just there. Let's just ink that, so doesn't look too new. Is there some... Oh, there's some... This. That could be perfect. Well, that's been sat on my desk waiting to be utilised for something. So maybe that can go in there. Take that bit off. Yeah, I think that's going to go in there, on there. So do I just leave it? Should I staple it? It's kind of coming apart because it was double the width. It was like kind of that width, and I cut it down the middle. And of course it's now kind of fraying. But we could always glue it. We could always use the glue off the end of this. That might be a good idea. Put a bit of glue and it should kind of just hold it all together a bit. Let's use some of this matte medium on it, just to glue those fibres in. Great way for me to kind of just use up the glue on the end of my thing. I don't need it to be completely covered, just glue a few of the ends down. Put some more on the other side. Let's just see if we can squeeze some of this out. In the spirit of using up. Gonna use it up, wear it out. Ain't nothing left in this whole world I care about. Oh, now is that gonna look? How's that gonna be on there? Is that something we could do? Maybe. Maybe if we put that on the background as well. Oh, what's that? No, too yellow. I don't know whether it's going to detract from that. Maybe it needs to just be a book page, or maybe it needs to be just a green book page this time round. What have we got in the scrap? So that's... Oh, some more tags in there. There's another one. So you know these are all the things that you do and then you don't do anything with. Maybe a bit of that. What else is in here? Oh, these are all. This is scraps of my actual wallpaper off my walls in the kitchen, which I don't want to use. So I'd like to photocopy, but not actually physically use the actual pieces. So not that. Maybe that on there, and then torn round that. Let's have a look at that, what that looks like. So pop that out of the way. I want this. Do I want this cut out? Shall I cut this out? Maybe I'll cut this out. Where are my scissors? There. Oh, just check I'm not talking to myself. No, that's fine. Sorry, just needed to check I wasn't talking to myself, because I certainly have a thought of, did I start this video? because that happens. You know, we all know that happens. I'm not the only person that does it. Get to start the video, so I do it a lot, to be fair. I do a lot of talking to myself and then thinking, oh, that video is going to be really great, and then like, no, didn't record it. But it happens, you know. It's one of those things. It's a, what's it called, an occupational hazard. So just part of the job. You're always going to do that, or you'll have like be recording something and something disastrous happens, or a light bulb goes off. Oh dear, don't say things like that, Dave, because like so far that, you know, oh, there's a peg here. Touch wood. That's not happened. Tempting fate though, with you saying these things out loud. How dare you? Like saying the there's the play that begins with MC and ends in a shortened version of Elizabeth, that you can't say in a theatre. I don't want to say it because although I'm not in a theatre, I don't want to be tempting fate anyway. So that's why they say break a leg. So because you can't mention that word anyway. I believe that's it. I mean, I'm not an actor, so I don't know. But yeah, so maybe. And I salute magpies. So like, I'm not. It's really strange. I say this, and I'll say this out loud, and then like you'll say, I think I beg to differ here. But I'm not superstitious as such. But you become superstitious because you just don't want to tempt fate. My dad was very superstitious, so there's one thing I do always do, and that's I salute a magpie, because magpies are communal creatures. They like being around other people. I think they mate for life, and so you shouldn't really see a magpie on its own. So saluting magpies is something I do all the time. So I was always taught by my father, bearing in mind he was the superstitious one, that you should salute a magpie. You should say, good morning, Mr. Magpie, or good afternoon, depending on what time of day it is. And then you should salute it and wish its partner well. So, good morning, Mr. Magpie. We always used to say, good morning, Mr. Magpie, how's the wife? So, and that's thereby created a monster, because then when you don't do it and something happens, then you'll blame the fact that you didn't salute that magpie, rather than it just being fluke, and that's what happens. So anyway, now you know. No, I can't do that, because otherwise I'll chop that side off. Although I could flip it over and do it that way. Yeah, I'll do that. But other than that, not many. You know, I'm not worried about black cats and walking under ladders. I mean, like, walking under ladders is basically, it's a safety thing, isn't it, really? So you shouldn't walk under a ladder, not because it's a superstition to not walk under a ladder, but because it's a stupid thing to do, because something could fall on your head. So I don't know what I'm talking about. It's because, you know, you have to think of things to talk about on videos, and so I talk about all sorts of things that just bears no relevance to anybody or anything, because, you know, it's better to, well, I think it's better to watch somebody who's talking than somebody that's not. So if I stick that on there, is that going to look good? and then that's going to go on there. Yeah, quite like that. I don't know how to stick that down though, because I think if I wet it, it kind of crinkles. So is it time for the Xyron? Deploy the Xyron. Do I know where the Xyron is? Where is my Xyron? It's a bygone Xyron. Shut up, Dave. Oh, where are you? Just bear with me while I go into the desk. Okay, got it. It was under the desk. So hopefully this is going to work, because it's not wet. Sorry, because the glue on this isn't wet. It should work. Tip it up and lose it. But I just don't want it to go winky wonky. So that needs to be on that lead edge there. So does that. Let's try and get that on flat. If I hold it down. Sorry, a lot of talking to myself going on here, but I don't want to put that through. Go through flat? It did. Good for it. Right. I wished I could get more sticky things for that. I'd use that all the time for everything otherwise. Love my Xyron. So, let's press that all down, make sure it makes full sticky contact. Eye to eye contact. Oh, what is going on? Why are things not closing? Oh, there we go. That's because that's there. What am I doing? Getting one of these out. Just pressing it all down. Okay. And that's just because we didn't want it to have, didn't want the vellum to warp. Do I want to go around the edge with it? Do I want to be a buffalo girl and go around the outside? Just kind of break the gluey edge. Really all I'm doing. So you shouldn't get any kind of sticky bits. Anybody else use a Xyron? Anybody else got a Xyron? I know that they were definitely things that you were able to get refills for in the US better than they were here, and also I think Canada was also easy to get them, but not here. They sold them in the UK for a little while and then they just stopped doing them, and then wasn't able to get more refills for it. So I use what I've got, and then I have no more. I do have a couple of. I have bought a couple of them. We've talked about this before, but like I have bought a couple of Xyrons from different places. Right. Do I want to put it on there, or do I want to put it on there? Because I mean, like, they're similar colours. I think I'm going to put it on there, you know. Yeah. So I've bought the machines with, you know, the cartridges in, so that I've still got. But that little one that sits under my desk is just perfect, and I wished I could get more of that. But I've looked and looked. I mean, like, you know, occasionally looking at charity shops and junk shops and eBay and all sorts of places. Yeah. Oh gosh, my phone's just buzzed and made me jump. The thing is, now this is not the time to be looking for another piece of paper now. Just didn't like that bold bit, but never mind, it's there and I can't do anything about it. So let's have it at the bottom rather than at the top. And we will put that. Oh, actually, I might be able to miss it. Put that on there. And on there. Stick that down. Oh yeah, cool. I will like the fact that you can see the text through it as well. And then we're going to just tear it down. I'm just going to tear the excess off first. I can't remember where I've just put my... What's there? I was thinking that. This, that's waiting to dry, I just thought, oh, blimey, I haven't put a whole load of stuff on top of it, have I? Right, that's that. So let's tear this a bit more, a little less frenetically. Roughly tear around this. Don't want to completely cover that tag, that's why. That tag is beautiful. In fact, it might be something where I stick this on the other side rather than using this, covering that up. We'll see anyway in a minute. I love the tearing. So I don't enjoy fussy cutting, but I do enjoy fussy tearing. Don't know whether it forms the same sort of enjoyment for other people. You know, do people enjoy doing fussy tearing as well as fussy cutting, or is it an either or thing? For me, it's an either or thing. So let's go around there, down there. Cool. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink around the edge as well now. So just to get rid of that white edge, because this paper's got a white core. It's not green all the way through. That's actually better because it's a bit more inky on the end of that, the tip of it, and also easier to control on around the pokey corners. Get in there without inking the surface of it. Like, by I mean the surface, I don't want to get this ink all over the surface of the flower is what I didn't want, I mean. Cool, so is that, oh no, actually I quite like it on there. I think we're going to go with that on there, and then we will have maybe a word on there. Right, let's get rid of these pieces of paper because that's just a mess now. Do we have, right, am I close enough to the words? Words and quote chip's going to reach. Oh, I can if I lean. Hopefully you don't think that's cheating. Enjoy the journey. Yeah, we like that. I'll have that. So we are just going to separate it because it's just a little bit too chunky. We'll glue that down. Get rid of that. Oh no, come out, come on. Don't leave me this way. I can survive, I can stay alive. Shh. Stop it, Dave. And calm. First I was afraid, I was petrified. I don't know, it's just songs coming into my head and I can't help it, so we just have to accept it. Accept it and move on. Ugh, I've just realised who used to say that. Accept it and move on is something that my ex-husband used to say, and ugh. Caught myself saying it. Oh, hello. What is? Oh, it's stuck to something now. It's stuck to the front of that. It's horrible. That's really sticky. You've got a sticky blob on it. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, you know what? That's the one I made a hole in, not this one. But you know, it's fine. We'll use this. I'll do that over there. Yep, that's fine. Do that, stick that down, just hold it for a bit because it's not going to stick otherwise. It's going to be a pain. Why is it not staying down? Right. Lean on that, Dave. So, is this now dry? Might have to give it a zhuzh with a bit of heat gun. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to you. I'm just going to decorate these very simply and very quickly, and I will come back to you once that's done, just to make this video not too overly long. Right then. So apologies if the camera angle has moved, and that's because my battery died and I had to charge it. So I don't know whether I'll keep the footage of me making these in or not. So what I've done is I've made some little tags with some various techniques. So some of them, so like this one, it was a plastic sticker and I overlaid it with a napkin and I used matte medium to glue it down. This one was just covered in matte medium, so it's again a sticker and just covered in matte medium. This one was a sticker and then overlaid with napkin paper, and I used watered down Mod Podge to do this one with. Well, one of my coloured ones. This one, it's usually vintage photo. This time I did tea dye, but it doesn't really matter which colour you put in it. So so I'm just going, all I'm going to do is, this one has got a few bits of bubbling and it's kind of, just needs to be coloured over with some ink. So I shall do that now. I don't really want to use that. Maybe use antique linen. Is that doing it for me? No, it's not. I'll use this. Yeah, that's better. So this is just, you know, just the white bits of napkin paper that didn't colour through as much as the ones with the matte medium. I try not to use matte medium for it. It does a much better job. It's just, it's a lot more expensive. And I'm a cheapskate. That's the answer. So one of the things I did want to put on here is some words or something. I found that 3 on the floor. That's the only reason why I've stuck it on there. I might use it. Go, see, explore. Go, see, explore. Might put the 3 on there. Probably colour it a bit, actually. The 3. Yeah, definitely going to colour that over a bit. Give it a bit more of a vintage feel. Do I need something darker on the edges? Maybe. Don't really can see that though, can you? Maybe you can. Yeah, so I had to charge my battery. So whilst I was thinking, oh well, I might go out and get some food then, and then I just thought, oh, then I just started playing. Sorry, not thought. I started playing and prepping for what I was going to do in the next few videos. So I still haven't gone out and got any food yet. So it's now 8:36 in the evening. Really, I could do with thinking about going. So I'm just putting a bit of random texture over the front of this. Just giving it a roll. I feel like it could do with more than just that, though. Oh no, it's all right. We'll put that on there and put that on there. We wanted to keep it simple, didn't we? Yeah, so we did. Well, I don't know about you, but I did. So when I say we, it's the royal we, as in I'm speaking on your behalf. So go, see, explore. Pop that on there. And just hold it down a bit. Maybe put something heavy on it for the time being. That's not heavy. That's heavy. Put that on there for now. And I will glue up the 3 while I'm waiting. Just enough to stick it down with. So yeah, I like the covering these over with something. You know, I don't like the shiny plastic. I'm just not a fan. Okay, so let's push that down. So yeah, so these are the little tags. I think they turned out really nice. That's the big tag to go in the front, and then this is what I was going to do with you. I needed to wait until this was dry. So I will now tear this out, and I'll do it in a very similar sort of way to the other one that I did. Just tear off the excess so that I can kind of grab it better. So I really like these book pages that I've dyed. I completely forgot I've got these, so it's nice to come back and find things that you had forgotten that you've done. So this is, I guess this is one of the big reasons why I wanted to do this Finish It Friday thing, because it just gives you that sense of accomplishment, doesn't it? So can't tear it further down there. I've just realised that's plastic there, so that's the actual sticker. So I'm just going to tear around these leaves, and then I did do another sticker, another yellow sticker. I'll show you that in a minute. All I've done is I've covered it over with a napkin, but I haven't glued it down to anything. I've just covered it over with the napkin. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. I just didn't know whether I wanted more than one flower on the front cover, you know, because it's really hard to envisage what this is going to look like without tearing it down, and I couldn't tear it down because I said I was going to do it with you guys, so I didn't want to do that without you. But I wanted to kind of just have that extra backup in case I wanted some more things. I did do some other stuff, and I'll show you that in a second as well. But I'm not sure I'm going to use that because it's, well, you'll see why in a second. So, torn that down. I will give that a bit of an inky edge. I'll use this because it's to hand. Just on the edges of that paper. It shouldn't tear now because it's stuck to it. Well, the flower's stuck to it, and that's plastic. So I wasn't sure it was going to tear because of the what's it called, matte medium, because that can sometimes give it a bit of a plasticky coating, but it's not. It doesn't make it plastic, Dave. So you were just being silly. You were just being silly and over dramatic. I've told you a million times, don't exaggerate. Anyway, he laughs at his own jokes. He sings to his own tune, and he lives to the beat of his own drum. So there we go. So yeah, so that's that. So then I'll show you the other one that I've done. Oh, hang on. Just in case it's given a reflection, I'll get rid of these bits. Okay, so this is again a sticker, and all I've done is I've covered the surface of the sticker with some Mod Podge, and then covered it over with a napkin. You can tell it's a napkin because it's got a slight patterning here. I will ink over this before I peel it off because it'll make it easier to do now. And I was hoping it gave it a bit more of a vintage feel to it. So, because these stickers can look a little bit, I mean, like, they're lovely, they're great, lovely images, but they can just, you know, detract from the finished project. So that looks fantastic. So I might have the two of them. I quite like the play with the texture. The other thing that I did was this. Now this is an actual dried flower, and all I did was, because I knew it was going to be terribly fragile and just not, you know, very practical, can't stick it to the front of this because it would just fall apart. So what I did was I just went over it with a bit of Mod Podge, no, not Mod Podge, with a bit of matte medium, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to layer that on as well. I don't know how. I think it's still quite fragile though. We'll have a see anyway. So this was one of the other things that I tried to cover in matte medium, and this had got petals on it, and all the petals just fell off as I was trying to do it. But this one seemed to be a bit more resilient. So, so on the front of here, I was planning to have these. I don't know whether I should have done a different colour. I'm not sure. I don't know whether I like it. Don't like that. I mean, I'll use it somewhere, I'm sure. Do I want just that on there? I want just that on there, I think. And then I might put that one on the back. So in that case, then, do I want something else on there to kind of give it a bit more of an interesting interest? What have I got just to hand? That's too green. That's definitely too green. I don't know whether I want anything. I'm just checking. So just bear with me. No, definitely not. No, definitely not. Categorically, no. What have we got in my bag of tricks? My trick of bags. do I have in here? I definitely don't have a beer. Don't even drink beer. Although I do quite like alcohol-free beer. So I just don't drink alcohol. Just, you know, doesn't do it for me. There's one of these pockets. No, I don't like that. No, Dave, you're just being an idiot now. Stop being an idiot. There's one of these guest check things. Kitchen check things, even. Do I do that? Am I happy with that? I'm not sure it needs it. Do you know what? I'm just gonna be crazy and just have that and maybe have a word with it. I'm gonna have a word with you. Just stay there. No, I don't mean that. Maybe put a word with it. Oh dear. People wonder why I'm crazy. Because I am. Oh, actually, what have we got here? Oh, I don't. None of these are going to do the thing, but I just like them. That's why I was making that noise. Is a Denison label too bright? Is it too much of a juxtaposition? That's the wrong way up, Dave. There you go. I might. I will see. I'm not saying I'm going to use it. Just saying it's a possibility. Or there is a pattern. I could possibly have just a pattern down the page that would give it something, maybe. Quite like that. I think Bank of Medals. There's that. It's too big, though. No, they're really too modern looking. That's alright. No, if I'm going to use a stamp, I'll use a real one. Right, do I use this? Or what was it, a Denison label? Or do I use a Denison label anyway? Let's see. I'll regret peeling this off in a minute, but... maybe... down there. Do you know what? I think I quite like it, so I'm gonna, because I quite like it, I'm gonna commit to it, because we could be here all day otherwise. Waiting for Dave to make his mind up. Making your mind up. Don't let your indecision. Yeah, that's just what I need, Dave. Don't let your indecision take you from behind. Trust your inner vision. Don't let others change your mind. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that there. Let's just leave that stuck like that. And then I think I'm going to glue this, even though it's a sticker. Just to make sure it stays stuck and doesn't peel up. And then glue the rest of this. And hopefully that will now pick it up, right down, put that like that, I think. Straighten that a little. Oh no, we want that. If we're going to put that next to that line, it's going to be straight, sorry. Like that. Yeah, I quite like that now. Okay, so does it need a Denison label? Or are we gilding the proverbial lily? It's got red in it. I don't like that one. Which is going to be a pain because I can't get it back on. Oh no, can. This one, maybe. Right, okay, I think I will use that, but I'm going to use that and have something stamped on it. So let's just put it down on here first. What are we going to stamp on it? What's this? Received 7th of July, paid. Right, I want to make sure that this stamps before I try and stamp it on here. I need something to try and stamp it on. These are the things that Vic brings back. So that's Vic's, not the bottom bit. That bit is his writing. They're the things that he brings back from work. You see, that's not very well inky, is it? The middle bit's fine. The outer that's not. Maybe. So pop that on there. Pop that there. Push it down. Really press it on to try and get some of that ink out of it. That can come out now. There you go, that'll do. Wrong way round. That way round. That on there. So that was got rid of because it doesn't go up to the right date anymore. So I've got that on eBay. That was a nice little cheapy thing. I look out for used stamps on eBay, so I think it was got rid of for that reason. I don't know. The years definitely are like kind of go up to like early 2000s, but I don't ever use it with the year on it. So, and again, we're just gonna inkify it a little bit. And we'll pop that. Do I like the edge of that? It feels like it should have a scalloped edge, but I don't know whether I'm going to ruin it by trying to do a scalloped edge on it. That's not a scallop. That's a pinking shears. I don't know what they call that edge. That zigzag edge. Is it called a pink? Do we want a scallop or do we want a wallop? It's a wallop or a scallop. I will do a scallop. Do that. Yeah. Let's kind of line it up. Sorry, I do try to keep things on camera, but like I also have to be able to see it. Oh, that's all right. Actually, I quite like the way that that's turned out. So, yeah. So I've inked the edge of that, and now I'm going to ink it again because I cut all the edge off that I'd inked. What a waste of money, Dave. Anyway, I'm going to glue it as well because I'm not sure how good the sticky on the back of the sticker is. I'm going to do a bit of a jaunty angle, otherwise it's too lined up for my liking. So I'll put that on there, and I think we might have that on here, but again I think I need something else, so maybe this should be stamped. Sorry, it's very convoluted today, isn't it? I mean, like, I don't know whether I'm saying sorry. Am I saying sorry? Should I be saying sorry? The jury is out on all of these questions. So pop you on there. Sorry for slamming. Maybe me jump as well. I might pop that on the pipe, a bit of green on there. Stick that on there. We're going to put it at a jaunty angle. No, we're not, because it's not going to let me put it down at all. There we go. Just pick it up and do it that way. Do that. Move you out the way. Stick you on the back. Put you on top of there. Might just ink you so you don't look quite so new. Oh, I did that upside down. Oh well, never mind. Didn't realise it was had a right way up. Well, I should have known that, but shall I stick that way then? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because that's quite quirky, isn't it? It's a bit more jaunty, a bit more of a jaunty angle. I think I'm going to cut the bottom of this stem off because it's not. I didn't do it all the way down, so I'm just going to snip it there, and then I'll glue that. I'll glue that actually like that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to have to peel this off its thing now without peeling the napkin off the front of it. Put that on there. Again, just glue the back of that on all of this. Do I definitely want it there, or do I want it on the inside? On the inside, the sun. Or do I have it on the inside? I don't like things on the back, so I don't ever look at the back. Or do I have it inside the thing? Do you know what? I'm going to put it on there. Look at me changing my mind last minute. There we go. Doesn't matter. We've changed our mind. It's fine. Did say I wasn't going to do anything on those pages, didn't I? But even I don't listen to myself, so. Right, bear with me while I just give a tidy up, and then we'll put everything in the place that it needs to be. Hey, there we go. So we've done the front. That's the front. We have done a tag for the inside. There you go. We can put that in there, and obviously it'll have a bit sticking out. We've done some tags for the back, so that can go in there. What should I do? Should I put that in with that? No, I'm going to put that in with that. This, oh, that's got a bit of rubbish on it. Just pop that open. This and this can go in here. So there we go. So we've kind of finished another thing. Just make sure that's stuck down. So there we go. So that's another thing completed. It's a Finish It Friday. I've managed to finish it. I don't know if I've managed to walk my mat. But anyway, it's now 9 o'clock in the evening, and I'm going to go and buy some food for me to eat. Well, I'm going to wash my hands first. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave. If you liked this, give this a thumbs up. It really does help. Please do subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you to everybody that has recently subscribed and everybody that's continued to subscribe. I am very grateful. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget you can like, share, comment, do all of those beautiful things, and they all help me. And you are beautiful people for doing so. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. My name has been Dasher Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Lots of love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Lots of hugs. Arrgh. It was a bear hug, that. All right then, folks. Love you. Take care. Bye. Bye.